All right, so we're going to hop into a video about acclimatizing to new social environments. And we're out here at the World Gym in Peachtree City on Commerce. And, so my girlfriend has a massage practice that's right next door. It's called Ready, Set, Motion. So if you haven't been there, if you're an athlete or whatever, and you want a good sports massage, go to Sabrina. She's fucking awesome. It's called Ready, Set, Motion. But anyway, she works right next door. And so for the last couple of weeks, we've been coming here to the World Gym. We got a membership, and we work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll wake up super early in the morning. I'll go to jiu-jitsu at 6 a.m. at Independent MMA. It's good shit. And then, Uber for a little bit, and then I'll come out here and work out with her around lunchtime. And so it's been a change for me. So I moved from up north, Gwinnett County, Georgia, down to Griffin, which is Spalding County, and that's where we live. And so about a month ago, moved down here. Took me a while to sort of unpack stuff like that, get into my space, and here I am, sort of, getting reinserted into the environments that I like, health and fitness, MMA, etc. Right? And so it's brand new. It's a little bit overwhelming, right? So I've got a new crowd at the MMA gym, and this is a new place, and really, like, this is her environment. She doesn't go here. She coaches CrossFit, and then we both work out together here or whatever. But last week, so we're talking about acclimatizing to new environments. So just a little story for you. Last week, a week or two ago, we went to her networking meeting. So I got up, went to jiu-jitsu. She had a networking meeting, and it's at a shared workspace. So I didn't go to the meeting. I went off to the side and I worked. And so she was in her network, like, entrepreneur group or whatever. And then so after that, we went to have breakfast, and then we came here to work out. I just remember feeling off because, that's her social environment. That's where she thrives. She's been doing that for a little while, and it's brand new for me. And so this can happen. Like, it doesn't matter how socially weathered you are. This kind of shit can happen where you just feel off, like, and it takes sort of a getting used to. So it's kind of funny because you contrast a day like today even. So I'm still getting used to this place. I'm still getting used to this dynamic where she's the coach. She's a CrossFit coach. So she's teaching me how to correct my form and doing all this stuff at the gym. I'm still getting used to that dynamic where she's sort of in the leadership role, at least in this, aspect or whatever. And it's a brand new, location, etc. Right? So I'm in a little bit more vulnerable space. But you go back to, like, our first date. That's where I'm a fish in the water, right? I've been on tons of fucking dates with really attractive women, people that were fun to conversate with, etc. And I was super loose in that environment because I'd done it so much, right? And so there's something to be said about, just putting a lot of time into whatever environment that you want to thrive in, for sure, right? But it's not universal. It's not universal. I've been on hundreds and hundreds of dates, but it's like, a day like today, like, I felt vulnerable. I was getting used to the environment, and that shit can happen sometimes. And so it just made me think about this lesson about, trying to not get hypnotized by the environment. So I wouldn't per se say that, like, a day like today I'm hypnotized by the environment, but I definitely didn't feel like as loose as I normally would, right? Because I'm getting used to everything. But so this idea of getting hypnotized by the environment, it's a concept that I got from Real Social Dynamics, a guy named Owen Cook, and he talks about people going to the club, and what a lot of guys will do is that they'll, stand in the corner of the club when they walk in, arms folded, and they're just doing, like, the tough guy bit and not being approachable whatsoever. And a lot of times when you're in that mode, you're just kind of looking around, watching what's going on. Like, don't come talk to me, or whatever, But what he says, people do value scanning, which is sort of like just looking around, seeing who's laughing, having fun, and attributing status to all these other people, and yet your momentum is totally killed because, like, you're in observer mode instead of the living mode. And so what you want to do, to the extent that you can, so take me, for example, a day like today. I woke up, 5 a.m., drove out to Peachtree City because we live in Griffin, and I went to jiu-jitsu at 6, did the class, showered, etc., bullshit for a little bit, and then came over here and worked out with her. A couple hours later, I Ubered in between. Not a ton of opportunity to sort of warm myself up for the day, but a great example is, like, if you know that you're going to go out to the club on, like, a Friday or something like that, and you want to thrive in that environment, you can get ready from the very beginning. So you wake up, you go get some gas, then you bullshit with the person across from you at the gas, at the next gas pump. Maybe you get to work and you chat with a few, maybe the receptionist or a few more people that you wouldn't normally do. So you're going out on the limb early in low investment environments, right? So it doesn't fucking matter if the receptionist blows you off. It doesn't matter if the person across from you at the gas station blows you off. But even if you got rejected in a conversation for whatever reason, right? It doesn't, you know what I mean? You've already gone out on a limb, and you're much more easier to approach the next people, and you're going to do it with less resistance, which means you're going to be received better in the next interaction. And so you want to get it out of the way early. So for example, a day like today, say if I want to be super loose at jiu-jitsu, I literally woke up, not even fucking awake, didn't even have my coffee, and went straight into that, right? So there wasn't a lot of opportunity there, and that shit can happen. But by and large, if it's something that is on the horizon, that's what you can do to loosen up. And so you just want to kind of go out on a limb early in low investment environments and approach it that way. So and don't do the value scanning thing, right? And you really shouldn't be if you're already sort of loosened up by then. One other thing that sort of goes along with this is if you see somebody that you want to talk to, let's say you see a girl out in public, you want to go approach her. There's another thing, sort of a principle out there that's universally spoken about by evil pickup artists, and that is what they call the 3-second rule, which means if you see a girl, you want to go talk to her, or even if it's like a guy at a networking meeting or whatever, it's like go talk to them within the first 3 seconds of noticing them, because if you wait longer than that, if you hesitate at all, you're going to be in your head, and now all of a sudden you're not going to be present and loose and as attractive to that person in that interaction. So that's what I got for today. I just want to share that because I was feeling a little bit off today, and this shit happens to everybody. I think we have certain environments that we thrive in, and others, we're all fucking human. We all have to get used to it, and that's kind of where I was at, and it just reminded me about some of these principles. So I just want to share that with everybody. I hope everybody has a great day and upcoming weekend, and we'll talk to you later.